Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Wednesday morning. It's now the 21st day of August, 2024. This is the morning weather briefing. And as I look out the window of the home office this morning, nothing but blue sky. It's going to be another nice day. Temperatures should run slightly lower than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday, downtown Sacramento went to 96, which is now 3 degrees warmer than the average, but still within that average range, give or take a few degrees here and there. Today, a little bit lower, more like the 92, 93, and we will see further cooling as we get through the end of the week, and especially Friday and Saturday. And one of the more interesting features now is trying to figure out the extent of the rain that we're going to see in Northern California. Yeah, there is going to be some rain for some areas. So let's show you the latest thinking here. We'll start off with the satellite this morning. Good looking shot today. We have a little bit of marine layer here along the coast, certainly pushed into part of Sonoma County as well as into the Bay Area. Otherwise, the valley is clear. The foothills, the Sierra, all clear. Great air quality. Still fire going on up here. Still some fire going on down here. But boy, we are going to see some likely beneficial rain in these areas. Not that the rain is going to put the fires out, but certainly for the firefighters that are working on this fire up here, the Boise fire, the cooler weather and the wet weather will help them to try to establish any sort of containment lines that they're working on or that sort of thing. So let's get to this change that we're looking at in the weather. And the best thing to do, of course, is to look at the 500 millibar chart and show you just what's going to happen here, because this is going to be a nice little interesting case for mid to late August. This is today, little trough going by right now. And today will be a mild day. Like I said, temperatures in the low 90s, but we have this low digging down from the north. And as we get into the day on Thursday, it turns breezy. And by Friday, that low is deep enough, big, deep low for this time of year. That is going to be good enough to bring us some rain. Now, the precipitable water, the amount of water in the air is going to be relatively low. So that means that any precipitation isn't going to be that great. This would be a much better situation a couple of months from now. But at this time of year, hey, getting any sort of rain in cooler temperatures is going to be quite welcome for many. This is getting into the day Saturday. We still have that trough sitting around, but once we get into the day Sunday, the flow begins to shift around to the northwest. The trough digs out and we start getting into warming. And by early next week, we're seeing temperatures in the 90s and maybe up around 100 degrees. Again, depends on just how things pan out. So let's talk about the rain chances. And for that, we'll go over to the North American model. And this is the 12Z run. And there will be a variety of solutions here provided by the NAM as well as the GFS here over the next 24 hours. But let me just show you the latest thinking here on the NAM. This is first thing on Friday morning at 5 a.m., 12Z. A couple of showers, certainly north of Shasta, and maybe a couple of showers down toward the Redding area, but it will all be very, very light. Then as we get into the day on, this is Friday afternoon, here's the main part of the low with the coldest air and the best rain. And then that swings inland. This is Friday night. This is Saturday morning. That's Saturday morning at 5 a.m. Now, if you're going to get rain out of something like this at this time of year, the best time to do it is first thing in the morning when you have cooler temperatures at the surface. So you have less chance of having virga. So in other words, the atmosphere is a little bit wetter throughout the column. So you have a better chance of actually getting some of this rain down to the surface. So we could see some rain into areas like Redding and Red Bluff. And certainly I think that areas like Quincy and up toward Lassen will likely see some rain on either Friday afternoon or into early Saturday morning. So again, that's Saturday morning at 5 a.m. And then by the middle part of the day on Saturday, all of that goes away. So this is probably our best window to get some rain during the very, very early morning hours of Saturday. Now, even though this paints some rain down toward the Marysville area and toward Grass Valley, I think that's pretty unlikely. And again, this is the 5 a.m. snapshot. And if you have plans for Saturday afternoon, this is Saturday at 5 p.m., all of that has lifted out, and I think we've gotten around to more of a northwesterly flow, at least a light one, and a bit of warm air advection, meaning that any precipitation will get shut down. So in terms of timing, it really looks as though it's going to be Friday afternoon, Friday night, and very early Saturday morning when we have the chance of some rain. All right, that's the way the NAM shows it. Let me show you the way the GFS shows it. Of course, the GFS will be a little bit more overpainted. This is 5 p.m. on Friday from the GFS. So, yeah, it looks similar. And then get into the overnight hours, and then this is Saturday morning. This is actually a little bit less extensive, but I think this one is going to show you the same thing, that by the time we get to Saturday afternoon, this is around 1 p.m., 2 p.m., everything has cleared out. So if you have travel plans north on I-5, let's say you're going to be houseboating on Shasta this weekend, or maybe you're flying to Oregon in a small plane, you may be finding the conditions by Saturday afternoon a lot better than what you would find Friday night and early Saturday morning. Now, in terms of how much rain are we looking at, let me go back to the NAM for that and just switch it over to total precip accumulation. I mentioned that the areas up here on the Boise Fire may see some beneficial rain, and they could see maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch of rain, something like that. And this model even shows about a tenth of an inch of rain down toward the Chico area, and this model even spits out 2 cents for Sacramento. Right now, I would think that would be unlikely. And also, because of the timing here being the overnight hours and very early Saturday morning. So let's say you've got a bike ride planned for Saturday at 8 a.m. You get together with your buddies and you're going to go out for a bike ride Saturday morning at 8 a.m. or you're golfing or whatever it might be. I would think that by 8 o'clock Saturday morning, all of this is behind us. But if you have plans for 2, 3, 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, that's when we may see the chance of some light rain. So again, I don't think we'll see any sort of rain impact the daylight hours on Saturday based on the latest of what we're looking at here. So rather interesting for August. And the other thing I didn't even really talk about is the temperatures on both Friday and Saturday, especially Friday. We could see daytime highs in that 75, 77 range when the average high is around 92, 93. So relatively cool. And you also think about the cool air around on Friday. A lot of people like to go out on Friday nights. Well, because we've been seeing so much hot weather, if it's only like 68 to 70 degrees, which at most of the time of year is relatively comfortable, but if it's that cool on Friday night and you haven't felt anything that cool in a while, you may want a light layer or sweater or something like that, or a light jacket on Friday night. It also might be somewhat breezy. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind, that it's going to be noticeably cooler on Friday night and into early Saturday. But again, the chances of rain look as though they're best on late Friday night and early Saturday morning. And for some areas, like around the Boise Fire, should be a beneficial sort of thing. But for outdoor plans Saturday, looks as though the rain by then should be gone. Nice, interesting case for August. That's everything I've got for you on this Wednesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.